Hi guys, I'm Keith and we're just going to do a quick video on inverse functions. What is an inverse function? It's one where the inputs have become outputs and vice versa. This also means that the domain becomes the range. Graphically speaking, that means that we've reflected about the line y is equal to x. To find the inverse of a function algebraically, we simply swap the x and y values and solve for y. So let's look at an example. Find the inverse of y is equal to 3x minus 1. So what we do is we swap our x and y's. X is equal to 3y minus 1. We take that minus 1 over. X plus 1 is equal to 3y. Divide both sides by 3 to make y the subject of the equation. X plus 1 over 3 is equal to y. And that is the inverse of the line y is equal to 3x minus 1. Let me show you a quick graphical representation of this. So here I just have one blue line, which is y is equal to ax plus q. As I shift my a value, I'm changing the gradient. As I shift my q value, I'm changing the y-intercept. And this shows that the line y is equal to x, which is this dotted black line, is the point about which we reflect our blue graph, and we get this pink dotted line coming out as the reflection. So as I move this around, you can see that it's just like a mirror image around that line, y is equal to x. And these are inverses of each other. The blue line is an inverse of the pink line is an inverse of the blue line. So next up we have line tests, which allow us to determine if the graph is a function. And the horizontal line test will allow us to determine whether the inverse of this graph will be a function. So here I'm going to show you the vertical and horizontal line tests. The vertical line test says that I have this vertical line A, and I'm going to slide it along the x values. And you can see that at any given point, it only intersects my parabola once. That means that we're dealing with a function. And I'll show you an example of something that isn't a function in a second. Now we look at this line B, which as I slide it up along the y values, it is a horizontal line and it cuts twice. That means that the inverse of this function, of this green line, y is equal to x squared, is not going to be a function. And when we do the video on parabolas, we'll speak about that more specifically and show how you can turn that into a function. And using the vertical line test, here's an example of a graph that is not a function. As I slide this along the x values, you can see that there are points where it touches 2 points on the graph. It intersects twice. If your vertical line test says that there are 2 intersections at any given point, it has to happen at any point. It doesn't have to be along the whole graph. If at any point there are 2 intersects, that means that we have something that isn't a function. And we can do the horizontal line test here, but that doesn't help us much. And that's it, guys. A brief video on inverse functions. In the next videos, we'll focus on the parabola, how to find the inverse of that, as well as the exponential function.